Okay, boys, we're gonna be doing Crocodile segment 2. Right here, guys, I'm in my mount. I shift to Crocodile Mount. Guys, when you shift to Crocodile Mount, you have to sprawl. You have to sprawl. If you don't sprawl, you're not in Crocodile Mount. Okay, so it's the sprawl. A lot of people, the octopus guys, the octopus community, they're like, we're just gonna octopus our way out of here. Let's rotate a bit. Guys, look, when somebody goes octopus, I'm perpendicular. Yeah, octopus is great. It can work, okay? I'm not gonna let him get perpendicular, and it's gonna be really easy for me to stop him from getting perpendicular. Okay, guys, I'm here. I'm passing my hands to the side. I'm sprawling. Guys, don't forget, when you're doing Crocodile Mount, you're cross-facing. My hand slides back and cross-faces. Now, guys, when he go slowly to octopus. I'm just gonna go back parallel. Can you go, keep going? Look, I'm just gonna go back parallel. Now look what happened to him. He's parallel with me. His octopus ain't gonna work. Guys, look, I'm gonna hook his neck. I'm gonna slide my knee up. When I slide my knee up, I'm gonna be able to take his back easily off the ground and take his back, okay? Octopus makes sense when you're perpendicular. It doesn't make sense when the guy on top of you is diagonal, okay? You can see when I'm in mount, if he goes octopus from here, he's gonna get his back taken real easy, okay? If he tries to octopus on me from mount, he's gonna get his back taken. When I'm going a Crocodile Mount, I'm diagonal. I'm not perpendicular and I'm not parallel, okay? So I'm here like so. When I pass my two hands, I also sprawl this leg. This is really crucial, okay? Don't bring your two hands here on this side and expect to have any effect on your opponent. We're gonna cross face and sprawl. Guys, once I sprawl, I hope he tries to go octopus. If he goes octopus, I'm just gonna come back to parallel. And you can see him, just here, you can see now I've trapped his arm. Now it's really easy for me to slide up and start lifting because I have my base now underneath him. It's gonna be easy for me to take his neck, okay? Guys, octopus is great when things are perpendicular. When they're diagonal, they're highly risky. Okay, let's do that one more time, different angle. Let's face the other way, please. When I'm going to Crocodile Mount, it's really crucial that I sprawl. If you don't sprawl, you're not gonna be able to maintain control. And we said we're immediately going into the legs. Now, how is he gonna octopus from here? Go ahead, try to octopus. Guys, if he octopuses now, this is octopus, he's dead here, he's cooked. It was really easy for me now to intercept his tricep and start climbing to the back and choking his neck, okay? Don't forget, when you're doing Crocodile Mount, you're diagonal. You're there for half a second. You're sinking to the legs and wrapping up the Khabib ride. Let's give it a try.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TriStar Gym channel. Today's episode, I thought I would start with a technique. The technique was Croc-Mount versus Crocodile Mount versus Octopus. I know a lot of you guys were writing to me, what about the Octopus counter? We're going to do the Octopus counter. If somebody goes Croc-Mount, I'm just going to come up. Guys, you can't do Octopus when somebody's diagonal on you. You can do Octopus when somebody's perpendicular. Yes, no problem. They pass your guard, you Octopus. They're in half guard, you Octopus, because you have a leg trapped. When I'm in Croc-Mount, okay, if you go Octopus, I'm diagonal. You don't have my leg trapped. It's going to be really easy for me to go parallel, scoop up your body with a lat trap, like I showed in the video, and just take your back. Okay, so guys, I'll tell you, I've been doing Croc-Mount for years, and I've never had anybody successfully octopus. I've had a lot of people try, and I got a lot of good octopus guys in the gym. It doesn't work, okay? You're not in position to octopus. Now, if the guy on top doesn't know how to get parallel, yes, you can octopus your way out. But if the guy on top knows what I just showed in the video, it's almost impossible, I think, for you to octopus. It's too far of a reach. As you try to reach around, it's just so easy and so convenient for the guy just to get parallel and take your back. Okay, so guys, that's my answer to all the all the octopus guys out there. I don't know what I call the octopus community. Do I call them the octopusers, the octopussies, the octopus people? What do we call them? What do we call the people who think octopus is the answer to everything? They think, oh, if you pass this way, I'm an octopus. Guys, octopus is great in certain situations. Against Crocodile Mount, you're gonna get your back taken. It's a really far way to get to perpendicular. The guy on top of you is far more mobile. It's going to be real easy. Okay, guys, that's my piece with it. I'm taking comments and questions on everything, not just Croc-Mount and the Octopus. Now, guys, I also want to make some comments on the Joe Pyfer Adesanya fight, okay? Because I know I'm not going to do a whole show on it. It was a great fight. It was a fight I was really anticipating, really interested in seeing. I don't think it got the praise and build-up it deserves. That was an incredible fight. That was one of the legends of the sport in Adesanya going up against one of the top newcomers, a guy with record-breaking punching power. Round one, Pyfer wins. We all saw he got the takedown. The striking was competitive in round one. The striking was competitive. However, I still give it to Pyfer. Why? He landed that really hard one too. He landed the hardest, most damaging shots. Adesanya was busy. Adesanya was moving around, but I got to give it to Joe Pyfer for round one for that hard 1-2 combination. And of course, he scored a knee tap, brought Adesanya down to the ground. Okay, round 2 was looking good for Adesanya. Adesanya was finding that Achilles kick. He was touching him. It looked like he had decoded Pyfer a little bit. It looked like it. And then, of course, I felt Izzy kind of stopped being so defensive. During round two, he was doing really, really well till I felt he got a little bit overconfident. Like he was scoring that low kick. He was scoring some shots. And it felt like, the momentum might be swinging Adesanya's way. And just as quick as it swung Adesanya's way, Joe Pyfer hit him with a body shot, a hook, pushed him up against the fence, took him down again. And then we all saw what happened. He mounted him. He didn't use the Croc-Mount, didn't need it. And he was raining down blows. Adesanya had to pick one of the two evils. Either he stays covered up and Mount gets punched, or he exposes his back and tries to get out. That's what he tried. Guys, I'll tell you something. Most people will turn their back. Why? You got to avoid those power punches. Those punches are raining down on your head. He did, I think, what most MMA fighters would do. They would turn to their belly and try to build base. Pyfer didn't allow him. He crushed it. It was an unbelievable win over a legend, over arguably the greatest middleweight. Guys, I'm saying arguably. I think the greatest middleweight now is Chimaev. I don't think anybody's going to argue that, but arguably he's one of the greatest middleweights of all time. The only reason we can't say it's Chimaev is because it's too early in Chimaev's career. He just won the title. He didn't defend it, but I think it's going to be Chimaev, okay? But right now, Adesanya and Anderson Silva, they've done the most in middleweight division. So we got to give them their props. They're both arguably the greatest middleweights of all time. It's going to be a debate. People are going to talk about it. I have a feeling after Chimaev's career is over, we're going to be like, hey, no, it was Chimaev all the way. All right, guys, I'm going to open it up to comments and questions and give me your thoughts. The Octo Nation. Yeah, maybe we're going to call the Octopus guys the Octo Nation or the Octopuses. I kind of like the Octopuses, guys. You know, I do octopus myself, but I wouldn't consider myself an octopus. An octopus is like somebody who thinks octopus is the answer to everything. In doubt, octopus your way out. In my opinion, I'm not a believer in that. You know, I think it works in certain situations and it's got to be opportunistic. You know, there's got to be the room to octopus. There's got to be the right scenario. Guys, if you look at my channel, I taught octopus on this channel 10 years ago. I have a really viral video of me teaching. We did call it octopus at the time, but it wasn't like as popular. And I was showing it, and I was in London teaching a seminar. I put a little excerpt of my seminar, and I was teaching the octopus guard way back then, over 10 years ago. There's nothing wrong with the octopus guard. It's still in the curriculum. We still put it in the rotation. It's a great guard. It's just not the answer to everything. It does have its weaknesses, and I think the MMA community, the jiu-jitsu community, we got to make our peace with that. It's not the answer to everything. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. And why does it work sometimes over others? Timing, space. Can I build to my elbow? Can I get perpendicular? Or do I have the leg in my half guard? Do I have control over that leg? And there's ways to manipulate that leg. Of course, no doubt about it. I love octopus guard. It's part of the rotation. But if you think you're going to do it on somebody who's in Crocodile Mount, it's going to backfire. It's not the appropriate time. So the Octopusy Nation, the Octo Nation, the Octopuses, the Octopus people, don't try it when somebody has Crocodile Mount. All right, guys. We got 61% of people think the Crocodile Mount's going to be effective. And 39 saying, no, the Octopus will win. Guys, I just, what can I say? I think you should get in practice and try it. Try it. Try the Crocodile Mount. Ask the guy on the bottom. Try to escape with Octopus. All you got to do is get parallel and wrap him up. He's going to belong to you. How will Sean Strickland do against Chimaev? That's from Nick. Nick, I think this is a great matchup because he's going to make Chimaev fight. Why? Chimaev he despises Strickland already. You know, the pre-fight talk is going to be crazy. The hype is going to be crazy. It's going to re-energize the MMA community. It's going to re-energize the MMA crowd, the UFC. It's going to be colossal. Why? Well, let's just say they're both going to be at each other's throats for months before. It's going to start early. How's the fight going to play out? Guys, Strickland has been historically very difficult to take down. Historically, he's been very difficult to hold down. In terms of finishes, he hasn't been that quite successful. However, we've all seen Chimaev's stellar takedown record. With the exception of the Usman fight, he's been stellar. So even with the Usman fight, he had some incredible takedowns, and he stole the fight with a takedown. He banked in the fight. He solidified the fight with a takedown, I should say. He wasn't behind and he had to steal it. It was close. It was neck and neck, and he kind of solidified that win with that takedown. I would tell you, I think it's going to be a one-sided beating. I think Chimaev's going to dominate him minimum 4 rounds. In a title fight, you need 3 rounds to dominate. I think he's going to dominate minimum 4, probably 5. And also, he may finish Strickland. How? I think it would be Darce. I think he would Darce him. It's very possible. Strickland's not going to play guard. Strickland's going to try to get to his knees. When he's going to try to get to his knees, there's going to be that Darce. That's the big danger of Darce, guys. When you try to get to your knees, there's the Darce. There's the guillotine. But I don't think Chimaev's a guillotiner. He doesn't strike me as a guillotiner. I think he's going to go. We've seen him do Darce before. I don't think he will go guillotine. It would shock me if he does guillotine. I think there's just something about guillotine. He's not comfortable. He has to go on his back, etc. He's going to go for the Darce. He's going to opt for that Darce. If I was training Chimaev, I would teach him Darce and I would teach him Kimura. Kimura is another great way to pin a guy, break him, crush him with the weight of the Kimura, and finish him with Kimura. George St. Pierre was a phenomenal Kimura guy, and I feel that top-heavy game, Kimura is a beautiful addition to that game. I beat Octopus all day with Crocodile. That's from Kevin. Kevin, right on, man. At the right time, at the right place. From Mount, Crocodile wins all the time. The Octopuses are crazy to think Octopus is going to win from Mount to bottom. Not against Crocodile, guys. No way. Come on. It's just too much weight, too much pressure, too much angle. Thoughts on Grasso versus Barber KO? One of the most brutal finishes I've ever seen. That's from Warthog. Warthog, that was brutal, man. She got knocked out and choked out. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Grasso, just an incredible fighter. She's astonishing, really. But you know what? What can I say, man? It was just, I've never seen somebody get knocked out and choked out at the same time. I've just never seen it. How is that possible? How was the timing? I don't know if we'll ever see that again. I'm astonished. Gladly, I'm very happy that Barbara's fine and doing well, and she released a video saying she's doing well. I didn't hear the video, but I saw it in my feed, and I was happy to see she's doing well. But wow, get knocked out and choked out. Unbelievable. BJ Penn was a champion with Octopus guard. Kelvin, let me tell you something, okay? I was there live. I can't remember who had fighting on that card. I think it was George, and BJ Penn was fighting Matt Hughes. We're watching the fight closely because, of course, we're going to have to fight one of them. And Matt Hughes had trouble taking BJ Penn down. BJ Penn was bouncing around on one leg. Matt Hughes, a bulldog, just a bull, guys. If you guys don't remember Matt Hughes, the young kids into MMA, Matt Hughes was the unbeatable welterweight champion for a long time. And he was just like a dog on a bone, trying to take BJ Penn down, and BJ Penn was bouncing around, and it was an unbelievable. It was a short fight. It wasn't a long fight. I think it got to round 2.5. Or I can't remember. Halfway through round 2 or whatever, maybe round 3. I can't remember. I have to go back and rewatch it, but it was so much action. Like Matt Hughes came out like a pit bull, and he couldn't get BJ Penn down, or I should say he was having trouble getting BJ Penn down, and then he finally does. He puts BJ Penn down, and BJ Penn kind of wraps him up with his legs, and we're like, wow, BJ Penn is unbelievable. We just don't see that kind of guard. He had like a weird guard where his legs were really high. He was kind of like trapping Matt Hughes' arms, and Matt Hughes peeled BJ Penn's legs out. Don't forget, he's in full guard now, and he goes to punch BJ Penn. Now remember, this is full guard. At this time, we're unaware of Octopus. We've never really seen it. I've seen it once prior. Somebody did it from, I'm forgetting the fighter's name. This is like a wrestler. He did it from, it was Babalu. Babalu did it against a wrestler. It was a jiu-jitsu guy doing it against a wrestler. It's one of the earlier fights in UFC, and he did it from side control bottom, and it worked, and he took the guy's back, and we're like, what was that? What was that? We have to remember, guys, back then, it didn't exist, Octopus guard. Me and George are watching BJ Penn. BJ Penn's in close guard right now. He's not side control bottom. He's not half guard bottom. He's in close guard. Matt Hughes goes to throw a punch. BJ shoots his entire body underneath that punch. Octopus is his way to the back of Matt Hughes. Now, you have to understand, we were like 22 years old, 23 years old at this time. We have to fight one of these two. And it just blew our minds. Like, our eyes came out of our heads. We're like, what was that? How did BJ go from guard bottom, one of the worst positions to be in MMA, to Matt Hughes' back? The best top guy in the game at that time, Matt Hughes. in an instance getting reversed, and he's fighting for his life now. He's fighting for his life. BJ Penn's all over him. Now, BJ went for a triangle. Matt Hughes was really, really tough to choke, and he eventually got out. He beat BJ Penn. He put BJ Penn in a crucifix, was beating on him. BJ Penn dislocated a rib during the fight. I'm not sure exactly when it was. But Matt Hughes ends up winning, and it was really conditioning and toughness that saved Matt Hughes. I always tell you, like, BJ Penn was an amazing fighter, but one knock he had, he wasn't in the best shape. He would start really strong and then kind of fade, okay? But if he had the fitness of a Matt Hughes, wow, that could have been an amazing fight for him. And I'm telling you, he did the octopus right then and there, and you're very right to bring it up. That was an incredible maneuver, and we were blown away. Now, of course, we started seeing, hey, how does he do it? What is this? Who knows this stuff? And of course, we started tinkering around, and we figured it out over the years. It started circulating in the jiu-jitsu community. But I will tell you that at the time, it blew our minds. It was an unbelievable, unknowable, surprising, to say the least, maneuver. Guys, don't forget, check out jujiclub.com. Use promo code GET 50 off. Okay, the promo code's on your screen. It's in the description. And also, guys, you can get now Advanced Basics Volume 1 for free. There's a link in the description if you guys want to see one of the most popular series in all of jiu-jitsu. It's called Advanced Basics. It's made by yours truly. I take you through the nuance of the basics. There's 30 plus volumes. Make sure to check it out. Volume 1, get it for free right now. Check the link in the description. Guys, make sure to check Apex Meditation. You will love it. That's all I'm gonna say. It is the greatest meditation app. It will get more expensive over time. Right now, we're doing the test. The test is amazing. People are loving it. 17% conversion rate. Usually a high percentage rate is 3%. People are loving it. People are loving this app. That's all I'm gonna say. Explore it for yourself. Okay, guys, what else do we have here? Let's see Baralho versus Pfeiffer next at middleweight. That's from Vancaro. That will be a crazy good fight. I haven't had chance to watch Caio versus DDP, but I'll be watching hopefully this week. I didn't get to watch it because I was there at the event, so all the commotion after the event, I had to leave. And I had to get my flight and all that, so I never got a chance to go back and watch it, but I will definitely be watching that fight. I would love to see Pfeiffer versus Caio. Right now, I'm telling you guys, I'm picking Pfeiffer. I think Pfeiffer is going to be a problem. I don't know who beats Pfeiffer. I don't know. There's not many guys I think I'll pick against Pfeiffer. Every technique should be named after an animal. That's from Golden Gully. I like that idea. We got to try to name every move after an animal or a superhero or something bizarre. Could you imagine when we're at the events calling out fights? Gorilla! Climbing gorilla! The spitting lizard! Monkey steals the peach! You know, when you do a self-defense attack. Monkey steals the peach. You rip the guy's groin out. Yeah, we can get creative and start using all sorts of animal names and actions. Coach, thoughts on Sam Harris Pro War Meditation app? That's from Montreal Fight Club. Guys, Sam Beverly Harris, that guy, he is the biggest sellout in the world, guys. He's an agent, okay? He's on the payroll. I was listening to one of his recent interviews or whatever. The guy's a moron. He's saying there is no Geno, you know what, something with the word side in it. It's not happening. Guys, let me tell you something. The consensus of Geno something, because, you know, their algorithm's going to block my video, side. The Geno something side, okay? He's saying those those scholars in that field are saying they have a consensus. It's going on. Now, look, the truth is a lot of Geno, you know what, are not voting. They refuse to vote. Why? Because they're scared. There's people with power, with especially the media, they don't want these scholars to open their mouth. But it's obviously happening, guys. When in the future, every historian is going to look back and call it the Geno, you know what, something with the word side. Everybody's going to call it that. We already have ample evidence. We see people being unalived on a daily basis. It's unbelievably undeniable, and all the great scholars who specialize in the history of side, they're telling you, yes, this is happening. Yet Sam Harris, guys, we're gonna say Sam Beverly Harris is telling us, no, that's not happening. It's preposterous to think that. It's preposterous. But if they were white people, you would be screaming from the top of your lungs. If they were secular atheists, he would be screaming for the top of their lungs. Guys, he's a dog whistler. He's been dog whistling for years that we should nuke people who look like me. He says it in his book. He dog whispers. He says, it's the unthinkable, but it's the only way probably. It might be the only way, but it's unthinkable. So you're telling people, hey, guys, it's going to happen. We have to do it. You're dog whistling, okay? You're putting ideas in people's head. We're not that dumb. They think we're so dumb. It's so insulting. It's so insulting. The subject matter experts have a consensus, and you're not a historian. You're not a something side scholar, and you're going to go against the grain. And you're not going to give even credence. Guys, whenever somebody tells you something, fact check them. Fact check them. The definition is known. Guys, it's not only the something side scholars that are saying it. It's every single international body. Every NGO in the world. There's over 30 of them. They're all saying this is happening. It needs to be stopped. It's disgusting. He's a sellout. He's a despicable human being. Honestly. Guys, I don't condone violence, but if he was in my vicinity, let me just tell you, I would give him a piece of my mind. And he would not like it. He would not like what I have to say. He's a coward. A despicable, worthless coward. All right, guys, we got Shiz in the chat room. Can you imagine to build up for Khamzat versus Sean? I will be glued to the TV waiting for my brother Khamzat to verbally abuse Sean after disrespecting all the Dagestani fighters. Khamzat, time to work. That's from Shiz. Shiz, I totally agree with you. And I'll tell you something. They should do the fight somewhere. I know it's going to be in America, but it'd be fun if they did it abroad. It would be fun. Why? Because I would love to see Strickland open his mouth in one of those countries. You got to be careful, man. Some countries, they don't like that stuff. They take their honor very seriously. Sean is going to end Khamzat easily. Hit him with a second round split decision. We'll see. Faraz Khoye, what do you do when you have a cold to get healthy fast back to training? That's from MB. MB, I'll tell you something. Look, I try to do on a daily basis some garlic. Okay, raw. Look up what garlic does for health. Okay, it's incredible. It's really incredible. It's the only component. It's the only compound in the world that's both antibacterial and antiviral. Apple cider vinegar. I have raw apple cider vinegar every day. I put it on top of my food to make sure it kills any bad things, any bad guys in the throat, any germs, any bacteria. And sometimes I sprinkle cayenne pepper. Okay, but don't do cayenne pepper when you're actually sick. Okay, because it's gonna irritate your throat even more. But garlic and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Now, guys, I think it's better before you get sick or you're feeling a little bit sick. It's time to go vinegar and garlic. But if you are sick, don't touch the cayenne pepper. If you have a sore throat, it'll make your sore throat worse. Cayenne pepper is more like you're trying to prevent getting sick. Okay, and of course, rest, fluids. There's no cure for the common cold. There's no cure. But rest, patience, fluids, and it happens, guys. We all get sick. And of course, to avoid sickness, washing your hands, and never touch your eye or eat before washing your hands, guys. The most important thing is wash. Wash your hands. Don't rub your eyes in practice. Don't touch things and then rub your eye. That's how germs get in your body. And don't never, I don't have to tell you guys, never eat without first washing your hands correctly. Salam, coach. Did you see those guys in UK coming at Orthodox Muslim? That's from Faizan. Yes, I did. I saw that Christian guy gets nose punched. Guys, most Christians are very peaceful, friendly, academic, gentle, loving people. And I love Christian people. I have Christian family. I have Christian friends. We get along. Okay, but once in a while, you're going to have a dumb Christian and a dumb Muslim. Okay, not that Orthodox Muslim was the dumb. He was perfectly well. He carried himself beautifully. Okay, we had a drunk Christian. It looked like he was drunk coming in, and look, this guy. I follow Orthodox Muslim quite regularly. I love his material. I think his material is amazing. I think he's very well schooled in logic. Very well schooled. I assume he's self-taught because he doesn't talk about his credentials, but nonetheless, his reasoning is very, very thorough, very, very academic, and very well put together. And it's refreshing because a lot of Muslims and a lot of people in theology are not necessarily the most well-trained logicians. They might think they are, but they're not. Okay, but he's actually very thorough, very logical, and it's a fresher breath air. Okay, he knows the rules of logic. He understands the how logic works, and it's a beautiful thing. And I encourage more Muslims and everybody actually to study logic and accept logic is real, accept we have to follow logic, and wherever logic takes us, that's what we have to accept. We have to first follow logic, and then we find the conclusion. Not we have our conclusion and we make logic work for our conclusion. This is wrong. In my opinion, this is wrong. Okay, you have to humble yourself. Truth is bigger than any human being. Okay, so once you have that attitude, now it's time to try to follow the logical route, and wherever it takes us, it takes us. And if you're an honest person and you believe in God, why would God punish you for being as logically honest as you possibly could be? How could you? If I got to God and I got the wrong answer and I said to God, "Hey God, I did my best. That's my maximum. That you gave me intelligence. I used it honestly, wholeheartedly, authentically. I tried my best to land to the right answer, and I got it wrong." You think God's going to send me to hell? If I was truly trying to be honest with myself, you think what kind of God would send me to hell for me trying to do my best to find the truth? No, God would never do this. Okay, so take a breath, relax. You don't have to land on what you think is right before we follow the logical trail. Okay. Anyways, back to what you were saying. This Christian guy comes up to Orthodox Muslim and he's like, like, debate me. He's super aggressive. Guys, I'll tell you something. If somebody comes in my bubble, it's a problem. I never allow a man to get close to me like that. Never. Orthodox Muslim was more than patient. I would put my hand out and say, "Hey man, don't come in my personal space. Back off." If he comes in my personal space, I would warn him one more time. Me, guys, I'm not as patient and as calm as Orthodox Muslim. Me, a guy walks up to me like that, guys, I'm going to tell him, "Look, man, don't step to me again. You're going to have to defend yourself." No man should ever step in your bubble. No man. Now, if I was there, I would have stepped in between them. I would have separated them. I don't like somebody to walk up to me aggressively. I don't accept this. Me personally, no thank you. No thank you. It's going to happen. Something's going to happen. I'm the type of guy, I'm not proud of it, but if you walk up to me like that, I feel threatened. I'm going to give you 1-2 warnings. I'm going to try to back away. If I back away and you close the distance on me, guys, I've done it before, and I'm not saying everybody should do this, but me, there's going to be a problem. Don't come up to me. I don't know who you are. You might have some kind of weapon. And you know what? In the UK, they have a lot of stabbings. They have a lot. I'm not going to let some guy get near me, aggressive, drunk. No way, man. I don't let this happen. You know, I know people who've been seriously harmed like this. Me, I don't play that. That would have been a problem. For me, I would have told the guy back off. He doesn't back off with 1, 2, 3 warnings. I'm the type of guy, guys. I know I'm going to get criticism for this, but I would maybe even try to walk away. But if the guy follows me, he's cooked. He's cooked, guys. I'm telling you, this is how I operate. Me personally. Orthodox Muslim was calm. He was chill. One of the brothers, he didn't like it. He kept telling the guy to back off. They squared up. He got punched in the face. And you know what? He's the instigator. Don't come in and start a storm of arguing and screaming and yelling. He was hostile. And then, there's a video of Orthodox Muslim talking to several people, and it was very polite, cordial, respectful. They could have had a very nice conversation, but the Christian guy was seeming drunk, slurring his words, and the honest truth, he was being an ass. He was going into Orthodox Muslims' personal space. That's unacceptable. Don't get in a man's personal space. If I was there, I'm telling you guys, I'm not proud of it, but it would have been a problem. All right, guys, what else we got here? Give me something interesting. Slam Coach, do you ever plan on writing a book? I'm looking for books that are about philosophy of fight / MMA. I can't find any. That's from Zizix. I've written one book, but it's on intermittent fasting. I have another book that I worked on that hopefully is going to be, it's kind of done, but I have to polish it up. Okay. I have to have it proofread. I'm having friends proof it. It's on confidence because people always ask me about confidence. So it's my philosophy on confidence. Okay. And there's 3 rules to confidence. Now there's a lot to know about confidence, but it's basically 3 rules. I'm not going to get into it now, but I'm going to release the book and it's going to be something for you guys to enjoy because people ask me this all the time. How are you confident on fight night? How are you confident? How do you get that confidence? What do you do it's such an important thing because confidence is one of the greatest feelings ever. And I remember one night before a fight, I was hanging out with George. He had a title fight the next night. And he was telling me, he's like, Coach, you know what the greatest feeling in the world is? And I'm like, no, what is it? He's like, confidence. I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean. Because we were so confident we were going to win tomorrow. Why? Because we had solved every problem beforehand. We had this feeling like this guy can't win. He doesn't know how to win. He just doesn't know. He's a great fighter, but he just doesn't understand what's going to happen to him. He doesn't have the answers to the problem. Now, look, we could have been arrogant or we're confident. How are we going to know? After the fight, we'll tell you. If we won the fight, we were confident. If we got our asses kicked, man, we were arrogant. We won't know till after the fight. We won't know till after the fight because we gotta produce the outcome that we want, right? So look, I go into the 3 basic rules, and I like to do things in 3s. Now there's a lot more than 3 rules, but the 3, if I had to limit it to 3 things to get you that feeling of confidence, well, I boiled it down to 3 rules, and I absolutely love boiling down things to 3 rules because it makes me have to explain it in a way that's so understandable you can't get it wrong, and it's easy to remember 3 things. If I put it in 10 things, that could be confusing, creates kind of like a mental fog. So I like to be clear in my books. Guys, my books, they're straight to the point and they're clear. Like once you start reading, you're like, oh, this guy's giving me information, not fluff. So you get captivated. Why? Because that's the kind of books I like to read. I hate reading a book with fluff. I can't stand it. When I read a book and I'm like, oh, so much of this was fluff, I don't like that author. I like you to get straight to the point and reiterate the point and give me 5 different examples of the same point. Make it so when I close that book, I totally had a mind shift. I totally understand what you said. But I think authors nowadays, they want to give you a really thick book because they think, oh, look how much I'm giving you. No, actually, I want a thin book that gets straight to the point because my time is more important. My time, So that's why I'm a big believer in getting straight to the point. Hey, Coach, according to AI, you and Brandon Schaub would make an MMA podcast that would be superior to Ariel's show. That's from Montreal Fight Club. Well, have him reach out to me. I'm pretty busy. That's the thing, guys. I'm pretty busy. I never know when I'm going to do my podcast. So that's the thing. One day, maybe I'll have a more easy schedule for podcasting, and I'll do it every week with a host or with guests and stuff like that. Maybe in the future. Maybe one day I'm going to be too old to be on the mats and train people. I don't know. I don't see myself ever retiring from training, but it's not impossible. Who knows? This is from Chiz. Coach, change of plans. Landing on April 18th in Montreal. What time suits you for our legendary sparring match? By the way, can Joe Rogan attend and commentate? I'm just curious and excited. That's from Chiz. April 18th, I'm going to be at UFC Winnipeg. So I'm back the 19th, and Monday or Tuesday, we will glove up. 2 men will enter the cage. 1 man will walk out alive. Okay? 1. So that's cool, man. I'm happy you're coming in the 18th. That's really, really cool. You know what? I know you're going to be jet lagged. I'll give you the whole week. My friend. Come in, chill, relax. It's going to be a little bit like Princess Bride. When Inigo Montoya makes it up the mountain, he's ready to fight, and the man in black's like, no, relax, take it easy. Get yourself collected before we duel to the death. It's going to be something like that. I'll let you come in, break you. You pick the day of the week. But the 18th, I'm going to be in Winnipeg for the UFC. For us, likes books with big pictures. Sagar, that's very true. Big pictures are great. He's ducking you, Shiz. That is very true, guys. Ian Peterson. I'm gonna make up an excuse. I pulled my hammy. I have a bad shoulder. Don't worry. As soon as he walks in the gym, I'm gonna come up with my bunch of excuses. Get Shiz in an instructional video. That's from 33 Larry. Oh, you know what? That's a good idea. I'll use him as my uke. Hey, Coach, when are you gonna visit Portugal? You will be welcome. That's from Philip. Philip, it's a dream for me to visit Portugal. I hope one day I'm in the neighborhood and I get to visit the country of Portugal. I would love to do a seminar there when I'm in the neck of the woods and it's convenient. We can maybe put something together. That would be amazing. Study the Octopus Instructional. You'll get the Croc. That's from Vancouver. Vancouver, he has zero chance of octopusing from Crocodile Mount. Zero. You know what? Let me be fair. 0.1 chance. How about that? Okay. I don't want to sound too cocky, but 0.1% chance he'll be able to octopus. Just 0.1. Why do fighters give their back when mounted? Why not hip bump to get up to post hand on the mat and strap and roll elbow escape to half guard? That's from Ricardo. Ricardo, I get what you're saying. I do this escape. It's actually an escape I showed many years ago on my channel. Everybody's like, oh, the guy will take your back. Guys, when somebody's punching you in the face, you risk giving up your back to get out. And even then, even in jiu-jitsu, we use it all the time, and nobody takes our back because we're framing on the hips. It's quite difficult. It's not impossible, but it's quite difficult to take the back, okay? I agree with you. I think that's a great escape, the one you just described. But when you're getting punched in the face, it's not easy, okay? Because Joe Pyfer actually measurably hits harder than Ngannou. So imagine you're getting punched in the face. It's hard when you're tired, you're getting hit, you're posting, and you're getting punched. So you're like, oh, let me cover my face. And now I can't even have 1 second to frame and bump. It's just a difficult thing to do, guys. I've been in that situation. I understand what you guys are saying. I totally get it. It can happen, but it's also very difficult to do. Guys, you got to do MMA sparring to kind of understand. Sometimes it can work if we can bump the guy before the strikes start raining down. We off-balance him for a second and escape. But Adesanya did try to bump. It just didn't work. The guy was too stable. Adesanya was already a little bit rocked from the hook that he received early on from standing. It was just a very difficult situation. Now, of course, we've seen guys escape from Mount. Guys, when you're escaping from Mount, the odds of you getting out are lower. Don't forget, Pyfer is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I think Adesanya is only a purple belt. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he's a purple belt, even maybe just a blue belt. Okay, but for sure with his experience level, we have to give him purple belt. Okay, just because he's been in so many fights. He's defensively a purple belt. Pyfer is a black belt, from what I understand. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt. So you're gonna try to mount escape under a black belt. Eesh, good luck. And the black belt just kind of rocked you with a couple of shots. It's not going to be easy. Siad Hamza, excuse me. Coach, I picked up your book and looked up Jason Fung, lost about 25 pounds, and now an uncle of mine wants to help him make a diet for him. He is diabetic. What do you recommend? Also, when on TV, behave like what? Also, why men on TV behave like women? You're squeezing a lot in there. Thank you for the $10 super chat, guys. He's asking me. He lost a lot of weight with my book and the Jason Fung's book. Okay, so Jason Fung wrote a great book on fasting, intermittent fasting. I wrote a book on intermittent fasting for athletes, okay? Because there's kind of like, I was looking for an intermittent fasting book for athletes and it didn't exist. And a lot of us were intermittent fasting. We are intermittent fasting. I still do it, okay? And we kind of tinker around how to make it adaptable for athletes, okay? And I go through it in the book. I talk about carbs, the importance of carbs, because Fung gives no carbs. By the way, if your uncle's a diabetic, he should have no carbs, according to Jason Fung. When he breaks his fast, he should just eat flesh foods and vegetables. Okay, Fung doesn't give any carbohydrates, for diabetics especially. Okay, now I would recommend, if your uncle is diabetic, he should have his meal and then walk 10 minutes after his meal. Every meal he eats, so if he's intermittent fasting, he's going to eat 1 or 2. He's going to blunt his insulin level by walking immediately after. He finishes his meal, he has about 30 minutes. He should get on a walking treadmill or Airdyne or any type of exercise, very mild exercise, very mild. Get up and walk. Okay, my father's diabetic. I have an Airdyne in his house. I got him an Airdyne. I'm like, look, after you eat, get on this Airdyne and pedal. Pedal for 10 minutes. You don't have to break a sweat. You just have to move your body. Why? It lowers insulin levels. It blunts the insulin response. Now, the more carbs you have in your meal, the more chance you have of insulin. Okay, so you blunt that insulin response by exercising within 30 minutes of finishing your meal. Guys, when you don't eat, you don't have insulin. So don't eat. That's why intermittent fasting is so good against diabetics. That's why it's so good against stopping fat gain. Think about it. Most people eat 3 meals a day plus 2 snacks. So that's 5 times. They spike their insulin 5 times in a day. That's why they're so fat. Intermittent fasters like me, we have 2 meals and maybe 1 snack. So that's 3 times. Instead of 5 times, it's 3 times where it's spiking your insulin. Think about it. Every day you're spiking your insulin twice more than me. You're going to get fatter. Okay, so if you're doing intermittent fasting and you're diabetic, I highly recommend within half an hour of finishing eating, do a 10-minute walk. Studies show it lowers your insulin level. Okay, now also you snuck in, why are men also behaving like women? I would say there's a massive cultural shift. Hollywood has been pushing the narrative that men should be more effeminate. Why? We're going to accept you more. So men have been kind of falling into it. And that's why they cannot attract the opposite sex like they used to. They're getting friend zoned on an epidemic scale. So I would tell you it's because they've been indoctrinated by Hollywood and social media. Some people say it's a psyop. Some people are saying we're being psyoped by a certain group. They want men to be effeminized. Guys, don't forget to drop a like, share, comment, do all the good stuff to make yourself a gentleman and a scholar. Pfeiffer also trains with Nicky Rod and other grappling beasts. Yes, I've heard that. That's an incredible training facility, for sure. That's an incredible guy to train with. Nicky Rod's the guy you want to work with, for sure. Woo. Okay, what else we got here? Coach, when I watch Oliveira on Holloway's back, Max was not leg fighting whatsoever, only fighting the hands. He got his black belt after. How does this make sense? Could it be that the moment got to his... he should be leg fighting for sure. You know, I think old school way, we used to have more attention on the hands. And the hands are super important because I'll tell you something. Oliveira has the most submissions in UFC history. So if you let go of those hands for a second, you might get tapped. So I think maybe he's overly attentive on the hands because he knows Oliveira is a finisher, and finishing from the back, I would say, is his best finish. So I got to give Max credit. He stopped the best finisher in the UFC history from finishing him. I tip my hat to Max Holloway because a lot of guys would have got finished. A lot. So I'm not going to criticize his back escape. He didn't get finished by the best finisher in UFC history in his favorite position. I would tell you like probably 90% of the UFC's lightweight division will get finished by Oliveira if he takes their back. There's a handful of guys that I would say, I don't know if he finishes that guy. Makhachev and Holloway are the 2 guys that come to mind. Ilya Taporia. Actually, no, Makhachev, let's put him at 170. So the list is short. The list is short. Maybe Armin. Maybe Armin's strong enough to hold on to those hands and not get choked out. But I'm telling you something. Oliveira takes your back, he's choking you out. Now, would I have liked to see him maneuver his legs more? I agree with you on that one, okay? But I'm not going to criticize him because he did such an amazing job not getting subbed by the best subber ever. Coach, did you watch the RAF event last weekend? That's from Warthog. I saw the highlights. Guys, I'm not so into it. I wasn't that hyped up about it. I saw Armin scored beautifully. My favorite part, guys, my favorite part of the whole show was that after Poulis gave him $10,000, Armin showed him a picture of the kid it's going to go to. He's going to help help this kid. I don't know how exactly, but the kid's in need of money, and him and Pulis hugged it out. And I thought it was a beautiful moment, guys. Martial arts is supposed to make you a good person. Armin doesn't need that $1,000. He took it. He wasn't arrogant about it. He didn't diss Pulis. He's like, look, let's give it to this kid. Something positive came out of this. These two guys had a beef. They fought. $10,000 is going to a child in need. Guys, my heart, I'm telling you, I'm not a sentimental guy, but I love these two guys. I love Pulis. I love Armin. I thought it was a beautiful thing. Guys, this is what the community is about. We got to do positive things. We got to get to the top, get famous, get rich, get powerful, and do great things for people in need. That's the whole point. Other than that, fame and fortune is useless. It's actually useless. What are you going to do with fame and fortune? You're going to buy some bag with somebody's name on it? Oh, look at me. I have a Louis Vuitton. Oh, look at me. I have a Gucci. Who cares about that stuff? Guys, take that stuff and throw it all in the trash. Oh, look, I have some guy's name on my shirt. Who cares about these things? Who cares? It's such a waste of time. It's all marketing. They're inside your heads. They're inside your heads, and they made you feel like, hey, you're not important unless you wear this kind of clothing. Don't get psyoped, guys. Please, for goodness sake. A real man doesn't give a you-know-what about Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and this and that. It's all psyop. It's all marketing. It's all trash. Trash. Okay? Me personally, I think it's trash. Look, I like nice things. If they're worth it, I'll pay a little more. But these prices are outrageous. It's just for you to tell people, look, I'm rich. And a lot of people are not rich. They just want to give off the appearance that they're rich. I think it's quite weak. I don't like it. I really don't like it. Now, guys, if you like that kind of stuff, I'm not trying to put you down. I just feel like we're giving these guys too much of our attention. Who cares about Gucci? Who cares, guys? Honestly, I would never want to have a Gucci. If somebody offered me a Gucci bag, I'd be embarrassed to like have it on me. A Gucci shirt, I'd be embarrassed. I'd be like, oh, I like when somebody gives me a gift, I like to wear it because I want to like thank that person. I want to enjoy it. I want to show them, look, I really appreciate the gift. But man, please, if somebody knows me, don't ever like. If you're a friend of mine, don't buy me anything super expensive. I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not for me. It's not my kind of thing. I want to get rich to help meet. Larry, I got to put you in timeout. Man. Timeout. Okay, 5 minutes. Do 5 minutes in the penalty box. I'm eating chips and salsa, mac and cheese, balls, spaghetti, and chicken parmesan, pizzuki from BJ's restaurant carry out as I dabbed fat and chilling right now. That's from Tig. Come on, man. You gotta get shape for summer, man. Summertime is coming, man. You're gonna flap. You're gonna parade around that flab, that extra layer of flab. Come on, man. You gotta get in shape here, guys. It's the season now. It's the season to get in shape. Iranians already have their hands on the Strait of Hormuz. That's from Jack Miller. Jack Miller, you know what? It's so crazy. I don't even know what the Strait of Hormuz was till 30 days ago. Okay, I've heard about it before, but guys, let me tell you something. Okay, the Iranian war, the American war, it's so crazy. Trump gets the mic. We won the war. Then he's sending troops. It's like, dude, did you win the war or are you sending troops? Guys, how do historians decide who won the war? It's not by body count. It's not. It's usually by who controls the territory afterwards. That's usually by the way, guys, if you ask historians, what is the exact criteria for who wins a war? There is no such thing as an exact criteria. Body count is one of the lesser of the criteria. By the way, guys, the Vietnam War, more Vietnamese died than Americans. Actually, the Americans never lost a ground battle. Yeah, they got killed by mass, but they never lost a ground battle. They always end up pushing the Vietnamese back or conquering the area. It's the American bodies piled up so high that the American people, the population, stopped supporting the war. They had to leave. Their stated mission was to remove and erase communism from Vietnam. They couldn't do it. That's why the Vietnamese won. What were they fighting about? The Vietnamese want to be communist. The Americans want them to be a democracy. They were scared that if Vietnam is successful being communist, communism will spread. They went there to hammer in their ideology. I remember when I was a kid, there was this incredible music video by Metallica. Okay, it was called One. There's song 1. You guys have heard it. It's a legendary song. When I was a kid, it would play on MTV. Guys, you guys don't know what MTV is. It was kind of like YouTube, but on TV. And they would just play music 24 hours. And there was this one video that was super popular. I was a very young kid when it came out. It probably came out in the 80s, late 80s. I was probably like 9 years old. And it was playing. And I remember, look, I didn't know what the word democracy was, but I remember in the long version of that video, there was a man talking to a young kid. And he was saying, look, he's a soldier. He's an American soldier. He's like, look, my job is to tell people about democracy. And if they don't agree with what I'm saying, he picks up a bullet and he's like, I put one of these in him. And I was like, I don't understand what he was saying. I was a young kid. Why does he kill a guy? Like, I understood by picking up a bullet. And he was talking to a young kid. He's like, if he doesn't agree with what I'm saying, I put one of these in him. And he was holding up a bullet. Now, as I got older and I started to understand the world around me, I was like, oh, I get it. If you don't think the way they do, they go over there and murk you. Now, historians are telling you the Vietnamese won. Why? The stated goal was to remove communism. They didn't do it. Now, their stated goal in Iran right now was to remove the regime. They didn't remove the regime. It's still the exact same regime. It's still the same ideology running the show. They're fighting over the Strait of Hormuz. There's a threat to the entire economy, guys. Life's about to get more expensive, it seems. Everybody's saying the opposite. Iran says one thing, America says the other. Who to believe? Who to believe? Well, we got to see the evidence. What's the evidence? Guys, I don't believe any government. Governments talk in and out, left and right. Guys, I want to see proof. I'm skeptical. I'm more than just skeptical. I want to see hard evidence. Trump says, we won. The next day he's like, we're sending in troops. Why are you sending in troops if you won? Oh, we've effectively changed the regime just because you killed one guy. By the way, killing the Khomeini was an incredible act of T-word. Why? They bombed him and his family. They killed the guy and his family and his granddaughter. Could you imagine if Iran did that to the US? Could you imagine? Trump and one of his grandchildren and his family members just wiped out. People would be freaking out. People would lose their minds. People would be furious. People would be like, hey, man, that's an act of T. That's an act of T. You know the word. We only use it for a particular race. That's an act of T. That's not how you negotiate. When you kill other world leaders, how can we negotiate? Like, it shows they don't want diplomacy. It shows guys, I'm not a fan of the Iranian government either. I'm just saying, look, that's not gonna get us to diplomacy. Look, here's the thing. In my opinion, when I look at the facts, they can't control the Strait of Hormuz. The ships are being blocked. Iran is winning. Guys, it's all about control of oil. They're going there just for oil, and that's how I see it. They're going there for American interest in oil. They want to control the oil. Guys, if you don't know the short history of Iran, Iran used to have a democracy. The U.S. came, put in the Shah. Then they took 40% of the oil. 40% of Iran's oil was promised to the English and the Americans. Now, after that, we have the Islamic Revolution. They want to nationalize the oil. The oil is for Iranians. Buy it on the market. It's fair market value. Now, they're going to start trading oil in yen. What does that tell you? That means China wants to protect Iran. Guys, the facts are whoever controls the Strait of Hormuz is really winning. The U.S. is going there now to control the Strait of Hormuz. Let's see what happens. If they can control it, ships start flowing, I would tell you, look, America's winning. If it's not flowing, if ships are not flowing from the Strait of Hormuz, I would tell you, historians are going to say Iran is winning. They're not going to say that now. They're going to say it after, when they won't be reprimanded or judged or coerced or blackmailed or anything like that. Because, of course, America won't allow any narrative to the opposite of what Trump says. Wow, Coach, talking about Metallica is beyond epic. That's from Eldon. When I was young, they were super famous. Okay, and I will tell you, I'm not a big metal guy. I'm not. It's too noisy for me. It's too much it's too much. But they were famous. I gotta tell you, they were famous, and that particular video might have been like probably the most famous, or one of the most famous metal videos. Or no, it's probably the most famous metal video of all time. Like, I remember it was just like on the channel 24 hours a day. Love to talk about buying a man's name on my clothes. That's from Montreal Fight Club. For real, man. Why the hell would you want another? Why don't you just tattoo his name on your lower back while you're at it? Why don't you just tattoo his name on your lower back? Why the hell do I give credence to another man's name on my shirt? Why on earth does that give me? And you know what it is, guys. It's basically saying, look, I wear $500 shirts. And therefore, I'm rich. Therefore, ladies, give me special attention. That's really what you're doing. But if you're intelligent, good shape, you have money, you don't need to show it. You don't need to show it. The girl's going to get to know you. She's going to get to know you. Wow, this guy's a catch. Coach, Johnny Got His Gun was the movie quoted in Metallica video. That's from 33 Larry Bird. I know. I've watched the movie. It's quite... That's a deep movie. I've watched the whole movie. Johnny Got His Gun. I remember watching it. It's crazy. Crazy movie. It's about a guy in the war. He gets his limbs blown off. He has no arms, no legs, no vocal cords. He can't talk. He's deaf. He's blind. He's just a lump. He's still alive. And then during the movie, he's tapping his head. He knows Morse code. And the doctors are like, he's talking to us. He's telling us something. And he's repeating the same word over and over again, the same sentence over and over again. They're like, what's he saying, doc? What's he saying? He's saying, kill me, repeatedly. Basically, I want to die. It's a crazy movie. Guys, the movie is way deeper than the video. You got to watch the movie because the guy in the movie, he falls in love with the nurse. The nurse comes in the room and she's like writing messages on his body. She would use her finger to spell out words. Good morning, how are you, this and that. And he would kind of communicate with her. He falls in love with her. And actually the girl eventually, taking pity on him, she pleasures him. She pleasures him because she feels like this guy has nothing to live for. This guy's case is so dire. She pleasures him. And of course, he falls in love with her, never seeing her, never knowing who she is. He just knows she gives him love and attention and she cares about him. She sympathizes with him. And of course, later on, the guy's in dire situation where he's asking himself to be killed. I can't remember if that was the beginning of the movie or after the movie, but I haven't watched that movie in decades. But it was a crazy movie. You know, you really learn to be grateful. And you got to ask yourself, why are we fighting these wars? Like, why did this young man go on the other side of the world to get blown up and killed and put in this hell? For what? For what? For these rich politicians? For what? Guys, by the way, Israel just recently passed a law. They passed a law that the settlers, for those of you who don't know what settlers are, they're Israeli population that are going and taking homes out of Palestinians. This is completely illegal. International law. Everybody condemns them. Even the U.S. condemns this behavior. Even the U.S. They take Palestinians out of their homes. If the Palestinians fight back and the fighting leads to escalating and an Israeli dies, they get punished by death. Only the Arabs. It's based on race. Guys, we're back to racism. If you're an Arab, you're punished by death. You go to not criminal court. You go to a military court. 98% conviction rate. The Israelis, they go to civil court. Ask me why, I don't know. And there's only 3% conviction rate. So they do all sorts of horrible things. They're given weapons by the government. They're encouraged by the government to go do T-word acts. They literally burn people alive. They literally burn people's houses while they're sleeping. They do the most disgusting, depraved, animalistic, evil things. And it's the blacks. The Arabs that are by race. If you're Arab, you go to this court and you're tried by death now. Literally, they want to punish you with death. They were celebrating the new law that's passed. It's the most disgusting law in modern history. It's utterly 100% racist. Historians and people will look back at this and say, what were people thinking? How could anybody have actually passed this into law? The most racist country in the world now has become Israel, no doubt about it. It's going to harm the future of Israelis. You know, of course, me, I'm pro coexistence. We've coexisted in the past under the rule of Muslim empires. We have, and the Muslim track record is far better than the Jewish track record. Far better, 1,000 times better. I challenge anybody to challenge me on this, and it's far better than the Spanish Inquisition, that's for sure. Okay, the Christian rule. Of course, we were expelled. Muslims and Jews were expelled, and it was convert or die. Now, there was much more tolerant Christian eras, but you guys get what I'm saying. The Muslims are by far more tolerant. We're asking for the same level of tolerance in a modern age, in a country that supposedly is democratic. What a joke. Anybody who tells you Israel is a democratic country is a liar. Please do me a favor. When somebody does that, laugh from your belly like this and tell them, no, you're not democratic. Your government engineered the demographics. They took out certain people, imprisoned them in Gaza, and then said, oh, now these people have the majority vote. We'll let them vote for us. It's the government that chose the people, not the people that chose the government. Democracy, it's the people, the collective that choose the government, not the other way around. It's the opposite of democracy. It's reverse democracy. It's the opposite. It's the complete opposite. The government engineered the demographics. They made it so the people cannot vote in a way that is the will of the people. They govern the people of Gaza. They govern the people of the West Bank. Don't believe it. Hamas has no control over its borders. It's Israel. But those people don't have a vote for the people who are governing them. And they go by race. They go by race, friends. It's the most racist state in the world. It's an ethno-racist state. Guys, if you're for racism, raise that white and blue flag with the star in it. Go ahead, raise it. If you're for racism, go for it. That's you. If you're for ethno-supremacy, that's you. That's you. Me, personally, I find it disgusting and despicable. Coach, what's your thought on the manosphere? That's from Elden Ring. Elden Ring, I'll tell you, look, I don't like the extreme manosphere. I don't like any extreme. I think men got to be men. You got to draw on the line in the sand. Personally, I would never wear a dress or put on makeup or paint my nails or wear feminine shoes or wear anything feminine or braid my hair in a way that's feminine. I think you can braid your hair in a way that's masculine. Yes, I personally don't like anything feminine for my personal, me and my family. Okay, I don't allow my sons to wear anything feminine. I don't like anything masculine for the women in my family. And I make the rules in my house. Yes, my family, they obey the rules. Big Bubba, that's me, by the way, guys. Big Bubba, he says something and I give them rules and I say, look, this is how we are and this is how we're going to be. This is our lifestyle. And I like to give them why. I sit with my kids and my wife and we talk about why do we do certain things and why don't we do certain things and why do we accept certain ideas and why do we reject others. And here's the thing, guys. Sometimes I think it could be a bit difficult to explain. Okay, but for me, I tell my family, I said, look, for me, number one is God, okay? Then number two is the family survival. If the men become effeminate, we're not going to survive in terms of family. The family will start to buckle over the generations, okay? Now I tell my sons, do you like effeminate women? Do you like masculine women? They're like, no, I don't like. I like feminine women. A woman like masculine men. There's nothing wrong with being masculine, but you can't confuse being masculine with being toxic. Okay? You cannot confuse the two because I feel like a lot of the manosphere, they're overcompensating because they feel like they're being stepped on. So they act like too much. Sometimes they act like idiots. Okay? So me, I like respect. I like being friendly, gentle, courteous, adapt, good manners, being calm, never using force, only as a last measure. These things, this is manly. Okay, so I just feel like sometimes they confuse being rude and obnoxious with being manly because a lot of them, I find them to be obnoxious. For me, manly is everything feminine. It's not for me. I'm not jealous of anything feminine. I don't want to be part of the feminine world. I don't even have female friends. People are going to get upset. The only female friends I have is my wife's female friends. Sometimes they come over, we chit chat, yes, but I'm never hanging out with a girl, me and a girl. Why? Because I know people are going to it blows their mind. It blows their mind. It doesn't blow my mind at all. I think it's perfectly normal. Why? If I'm alone with a woman, something can happen. There could be a sexual tension. It could build over time. I'm a man. Okay, now I'm not saying I would do that. I'm not saying I have no self-control. People are like, you have no self-control. It's not that I don't have self-control. Of course I have self-control. My idea is that out of respect to society, I won't even let society have a doubt. I don't want society to have a doubt. Okay, so this is really what it truly is. Because if people see a man and a woman together coming out of a space that's alone or private, they're gonna be like, hey, wait a second, maybe something was going on. And they're not crazy to ask that. They're not crazy to think that because that happens all the time in society. I'm just saying, look, society, I don't want to even give you a doubt. So for me, it's going to be a public exchange or it's not going to happen. It's going to be a third party present. So you have no doubts. I want society to have no doubts. I want people to be at ease with their mind. Okay. So look, you see one controversy coming after another. Always men are the predators. 99% of sexual assault is the man. The man perpetrated it. It's so rare. Sexual assault is due to a woman. It's so rare. Now, it does exist. I said once it's 100%, and somebody dug up a remote case. So that's why, That's why I never say 100% anymore. I say 99%. Because somebody found a girls' soccer team that was, the coaches were female and they abused the soccer players. All right, guys, you got me. There's 1 in 100 million. There was actually, the perpetrator was a woman. Okay, you got me. Out of 100 million sexual assault cases, wow, you dug deep and you found one female perpetrator. I applaud you. Still doesn't change my point. I want society to know, look, I'm not going to perpetrate anything in terms of sexual assault towards anybody in our society. And how am I going to do it? I'm going to give you ease of mind. I'm never going to be in a situation where it could happen. That's what I'm telling society. And if all men did that, we would have less Atos situation. See what happened to Atos? He put himself in a situation where there is doubt that he did or did not do this. Look, it's not proven that he did it. People are alleging he did it. I don't know if he did it or not. I don't know. But people are taking sides. People are, I remember one time I read this pamphlet. It was like, what to do when a woman says she's been abused. Number 1 on the list, believe it or not, number 1 on the list said, believe her. The number 1 thing you can do if a girl tells you she's been assaulted is believe her. Me personally, I don't operate that way. If somebody tells me, hey, I've been sexually assaulted, the first thing I say, hey, go make a police report. Let the detectives handle this professionally. Now, how can I know she's not lying? It could be the case because it does exist. People, you got to wake up out of la la land. It does exist. There have been many cases. Guys, I've been accused of sexual assault. Not assault really, but like, whatever. I don't know what these girls. And when I send a cease and desist letter, all of a sudden it's not true because I asked the girl for, anyway, she claimed a certain time and place it happened. I said, perfect. She wasn't aware. I have surveillance in my gym. I'm like, perfect. Give me the approximate month this happened. I'm going to go to the police with the entire month's worth of video, unedited. I'm taking it. Like, I'm building my case. Let's do this because I'm sure it didn't happen. The person who wrote an apology letter said it never happened. I made it up. Okay, now you have to understand the context. I was suspending this person from the gym because she did something to a member. So after I suspended this person, she claimed there was a assault that happened. Okay, great. No problem. Did you know that the gym has cameras? We can solve this right here and now. Tell me what month it happened approximately. I'm going to go to the police with the entire 6 months in that area. Like, I'm not just going to give you that month. I'm going to give you the 3 months before and after. Whatever my data system will allow. And I'm going to take that data, unedit it, and bring it to the police and make a report and countersue you. The girl wrote a letter of apology. And you know what? Nobody believed her. Everybody was like, no, it never happened. Coach doesn't do that. He doesn't go in areas with a girl. Doesn't go in a, it just doesn't occur in my gym. Okay? So look, long story short, men want to ease the mind of society. They're going to behave in a way that, look, we never put you in a bad situation. That's why I have a problem with guys saying, oh, I'm a woman. I want to go in the women's bathroom. No way, man. You think I'm going to trust you behind closed doors with one of my family members? Hell no. Coach, any advice on mastering striking fundamentals without access to world-class coaches of training partners? With BJJ, it's easier now to get better solo with instructionals. What do you do for striking? That's from Salo. I'll tell you, get commands and signals. Go to jiu-jitsuclub.com and or get professional shadowboxing. I'm going to make professional shadowboxing too, and I'm considering doing a more basics version. Guys, that's an easy one, guys. There's plenty of instructionals on striking. It's actually, I think it's easier to learn striking alone than it is. It's easier to reach a high level of striking alone than it is jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu, you can get to a certain level, but you got to kind of get blocked. The only complaint I have about this channel is that I was craving more AMAs. Now I can't complain. That's from Matt. Matt, you're a gentleman and scholar. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I'm going to be releasing more vlogs. And also, I'm going to try to do 1 AMA minimum a week. Coach, is stability built on ignoring the truth actually worth preserving? On ignoring truth actually worth preserving? That's from Tafara. Tafara, what kind of stability are you referring to? Not sure what you mean. But Sometimes people aren't ready for the truth. Always remember that. Sometimes you got to give them time, space, and then drop a truth bomb. And it could take years even. All right, guys, we're going to wind down. It's been an hour and 9 minutes. Give me something easy. Commands and signals doesn't come with a partner. That's true. So that's why you should get, commands and signals, you could basically shadow box it. So you look at the, you look at the maneuver and you just shadow box it. So look, every commands and signals, if you look at half of it is boxing, then it flows into Muay Thai attacks. Okay, because I'm a big believer in boxing. So the first, let's say volume 1, it's 1, 1, 2. You could just shadow box 1, 1, 2. And after that is jab, hook, cross. You can shadow box jab, hook, cross. You don't actually need somebody holding the mitts. And also you could do it on the bag. So that's why I recommend commands and signals, because commands and signals are supposed to teach you how to be a mid holder and a striker at the same time. It's supposed to hit two birds with one stone. It's supposed to make the training fun. And if you don't have a partner, you could still go do it solo. Okay, so I forgot to mention that. Thank you for picking that up. All right, guys, let's end that on something light and funny. Coach, who did you use in Street Fighter? All right, guys, that's the last question of the day. Make sure not to super chat me or anything like that. Guys, I loved Ryu. Till this day, I still like Ryu. Now, look, I'll tell you something. They changed Ryu in the subsequent special editions where Ryu didn't have the fireball uppercut, and Ken was like, when he did his dragon punch, his flying uppercut, he would go further out. And a lot of guys were using him, and his tornado kick would do more combinations. But I don't know why. I never did as good. I felt like they souped up Ken more than they did Ryu. But I always had more success with Ryu. Why? I don't know. And I just love the character. He's like a Ronin. He's going out to always try to get better. Ken, they lined him up more as of a berserker. He was more aggressive. His style was more aggressive. And I'll tell you something. The top 10 Street Fighter players, most of them will use Ken, not Ryu. Okay, I don't know if that's changed, but in my time, the top guys were playing Ken. Now, guys, don't forget, when I was young, I was obsessed with Street Fighter 2, obsessed. And I'll tell you that, I don't know why, I use both characters. I would never do as well, and I would beat, I was really good. I was pretty good at Street Fighter, okay? I would beat all my friends with Ryu. If I tried Ken, I wouldn't do as well. It just didn't fit my style, but I loved Ryu. I don't know why. When I would use the aggressive style of Ken, I would get countered more. I felt Ryu was more balanced. He was more conservative, and that's the way I fight. That's the way I play jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing. When I box, I'm more conservative. I'm not a berserker. I'm waiting for you to make a mistake, and when you make a mistake, I make you pay for it, and then I kind of trick you, razzle-dazzle you a little bit. That's kind of like who I am as a person in terms of psychology. So I guess my psychology just never meshed with Ken's fighting style. Okay, guys, with that said, please like, share, comment, be a gentleman and a scholar. Like, share, comment. Make sure to check out jujiclub.com. Check out promo code GET50 off. It's in the description. It's on your screen. Get 50% off anything on jujiclub.com. Guys, in the description, you can get a free copy of Volume 1, Advanced Basics. You will love it. You can get Apex Meditation. Guys, if you're into meditation apps, check out Apex Meditation. It will put hair on your chest. I guarantee you that is the most life-changing app you will ever receive. It has book meditations and meditations on how to think. How to think. It has philosophy books as well. It takes books, amazing books, and turns them into meditations. There are life lessons. It will change the way you make life decisions. Make no mistake about it. Apex Meditation is the greatest life-changing app out there. It's still relatively unknown because they haven't pushed it yet. You guys are the first people to try it. My audience are the first to try it. And they have my voice as an option, which, by the way, guys, I was shocked is being used 10 times more than the professional actor known as Grant on the app. I was shocked. The statistics show that everybody likes my voice better. My clunky, weird voice is actually more popular than the professional, amazing voice of Grant. I always use Grant because I can't stand the sound of my own voice. It's one of those weird things. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. See you.